My eyes have seen
My
the
eyes have
glory
seen
of
the
the
glory
cleansing of YouTube,
YouTube,
debunking
debunking
SJWs and
SJWs and the
feminazis
Nazis
too,
too.
rejecting reactionists and hope they
Actions
get
that hope
the
they get
boot.
the boot.
Just a
Just the
robot
robot
marches
marches
on.
on.
Gee, I don't think how we could have.
Hello?
Oh, crap.
What?
Sorry, I started playing a Steven Universe video essay after that.
Great. Hello, we're the NostalgiCast. We remember it, so you don't have to. And, it's been a while since we recorded, so apologies if we're a bit rusty, but we have a very special movie to talk about. We're going to be doing a movie review.
Yep. We're going to be doing a movie review.
Eduardo?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a movie review of Wonder Woman 1984. So, what did we all think of the original Wonder Woman?
Oh, yeah. So I saw the original Wonder Woman like a few years ago. We actually saw it together, didn't we, in theaters?
Oh, yeah. Was that the one with the British guy in it who turned out to be the devil?
Yeah, the guy that was like, that British guy from that one Nickelodeon show with like Nigel Thornberry?
Yeah. Smashing.
Kind of. Yeah, the British guy kind of reminded me of Nigel Thornberry. So, yeah, he turned out to be like the villain. Okay, yeah, I guess we can go over the first Wonder Woman. I don't really remember much about it, but I guess like one weird thing about it was like it had like Wonder Woman like murdering German soldiers, which I would normally be cool with, except it's in World War I, which was not, those German soldiers weren't exactly fighting for the Nazi party. It was a very different Germany. So it was a bit weird that they treated like Germans like this evil thing when like World War I was basically the most meaningless massive war ever. So like it's not like they were like it's not like it's not World War II is I guess my point. But they knew that they couldn't have done World War II because that would be ripping off Captain America. So that's basically the reason why. Yeah, that's why it was World War I. And yeah, it was just kind of like I remember there was a scene where didn't like her boyfriend die or something?
Yeah, her boyfriend sacrificed himself for some reason.
Yeah, and after that happened, like Ares appeared, and he was actually the British dude that appeared in one scene before, and he said something like, "Smashing! I'm actually the real villain."
Smashing.
And then they fight, and she wins, and the message of the movie is that love always wins, except she murders like 2 people and like a bunch of random soldiers. So,
maybe the message of the story is Wonder Woman always wins.
Yeah, I think that's a better message of the story. Like, it's alright. It's just a fine action movie. And it doesn't help that, like, after that we saw the amazing Captain Underpants movie.
Oh yeah, that was so much better.
Yeah, which was far superior. Yeah, but I guess, like, my main issues are just, like, in terms of, like, the history. It's just weird that they treat, like, this army like they're total villains, because it's not, like, I mean, historically, I don't think that's really the case. But, yeah, it's just a fine action movie. It's just, like, the ending fight was just kind of cringy and bad.
Yeah. Smashing.
But yeah, but Gal Gadot she's a good Wonder Woman, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, and something funny about our theater experience. Do you want to talk about the Woo guy?
Oh my god, yeah. This is a long repressed memory. So when we were in the theater, this guy who this random guy, when like Wonder Woman, I think it was like she smashed like a church or bell tower, this guy just shouted "Woo!" in the theater. And we thought it was the funniest shit that whenever something happened in a movie, we needed to scream "Woo!" in the theater. So yeah.
Yeah, we screamed "Woo" every time Captain Underpants did something in like the next movie. So that was a pretty good thing. But yeah, we both we want to talk about Wonder Woman 2. Wonder Woman 1984, as they called it.
Because it takes place in the 1980s, as the first one took place in the 1930s or something. I don't remember when World War I took place.
I think the 1910s is when it took place.
Yeah.
But yeah, get your history straight. But yeah, so obviously Wonder Woman 1984 could have, freaking like put in an 80s soundtrack, and it might have put in an 80s soundtrack, it might have not, but so that's something. It has like that 80s aesthetic, which definitely adds something to the film. It definitely makes it interesting, because I've never seen a movie from the 2010s that panders to 80s nostalgia.
Never. It's such a new and unique concept that I fucking loved it.
Yeah, me personally, I love this film. I thought it was like the most like wondrous film I've ever seen.
It was wondrous, but was it womanous enough?
Well, we'll get into that, of course. Let's go over. I guess like I wrote down bullet points because this so much like flies in your face in this movie. It's kind of like someone like vomiting candy corn in your face. Now, candy corn is delicious, but it keeps coming at you, so it's like kind of like overwhelming.
I know what you mean,
but in a good way. This film is it's many things. It's bombastic, it's crazy, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's action packed.
Well,
it's got
I'd actually kind of disagree with you. I think the first movie was pretty good as an action movie. I looked it up. The general reception is that it was either like pretty good or good, and Rotten Tomatoes seemed really favorable on it. But the second one, the one we were covering for today, 1984, was received a lot less favorably. It got like 6 out of 10s basically across the board. So.
Well, this is very true. Well, the funny thing is, initial critic screenings, they initially the Rotten Tomato score gave it like an 88%, because some critics got to see it early because they were in the special club. And look, I'm not saying that like being in the special club incentivizes you to give good reviews so that you stay in the special club, but I'll heavily imply it.
Yeah.
I think that no, these people obviously loved it, and for some reason, critics later on did not like it. But that doesn't mean that it's not a great film. Because I think that maybe cynical people suddenly started appearing. They just don't understand this film. Now, sure, like the reviews may be not so positive, but what I think is that these people are just like, they just don't get it, I know you disagree probably, and you can tell me why, but that's how I feel overall. I think that this is a misunderstood classic, and 80s nostalgia is still relevant, still awesome, and I'm very happy for this film.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, but how do you feel? Okay, we need to address the elephant in the room with this movie. How do you feel about it being released on HBO Max? And in theaters.
Well, the in theater part is kind of cringe. Like, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is like, you really expect people to go there in theaters, and the HBO Max thing, it's like you really expect people to pay for this crappy service. I mean, like it's like either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Thankfully, I don't think the good thing about this though is like it's not one of those like sleazy digital releases on a streaming platform, and like Disney learned from this too, where like in Disney Plus they freaking like they charge $30 and Disney Plus so that you could watch Mulan, right?
That's pretty cringe, yeah.
Which was a shitty movie, and like had like shitty behind the scenes stuff happen. So thankfully for their new movie Soul, it was just free if you have Disney Plus. So I'm glad HBO Max did that, I guess, but like I don't know.
Well, I did look it up, and apparently that 23% of the viewers had subscribed to HBO Max in order to watch the film, and Wonder Woman, this new movie, was already the most watched straight-to-streaming title of the year, beating Hamilton, so that's pretty impressive. So I'd say I did numbers in the streaming box office, whatever that is.
So Gal Gadot beat out Lin-Manuel Miranda when you really think about it. So take that, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. So, we can, let's go through the plot. How do you feel? I thought it was a really bold choice to make Wonder Woman a rapist.
Yes, I don't exactly agree with it, but I do, I do admit it was a bold choice. In this day and age, some people like, especially the modern superhero crowd, tend to wane away from those ideas, and so, Wonder Woman 1984's idea to tackle it head on was, it was really bold, and I'm not gonna say good, but I'm gonna say it was bold, and I admire their guts. I admire what they did, and they stuck with it for sure. So
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of people on Twitter were complaining that Wonder Woman basically used her wish, like the wish thing that apparently she gets in this film, uh, you know, to revive her dead boyfriend. Which, of course, a guy that that you knew for 1 month, and you've been alive for what, like 70 years after after he died. Of course, now you want to bring him back to life for some reason. It's understandable that she hasn't moved on. 70 years of not moving on, to be exact. And yeah, so basically what she did was, I mean, obviously these Twitter people complain about it, but like she used that wishbone to bring her boyfriend back, except her boyfriend's ghost just possessed the body of another man, and Wonder Woman had sex with that man.
yeah, that
Which,
was kind of
yeah, very.
that was
It's a bit of a
it was
it's
a
a bit
bit
of
of a
a
yikes moment. You're right.
yeah, and like this kind of brings me back to that. I mean, it's a bit of a yikes, but it reminds me of Ferb Nessa. Ferb
Oh my
Nessa.
god! I thought we were over for Vanessa. Why don't you...
What I'm saying is that if the genders were swapped, it would probably not be seen as a bit of a problem. But because it's Wonder Woman who's hot, therefore it's okay, which doesn't really jive well with me. I don't know how you feel about it. I know I just said it was bold, but it's not so bold now that I think about it. It's just kind of weird. What did you think about this filming choice?
The rape choice?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I just think that okay, maybe it could be a bold choice to kind of tackle this, but they didn't do it very tactfully, and it kind of seems like they didn't really think through the implications. It's like they're like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good way to get them back together without being like necrophilia or whatever.
Yeah. So
but
instead, they just did rape.
yeah, they just did rape instead, which is, I'm not gonna say it's better or worse, but it's still very bad. Like, come the fuck on.
Again, I can definitely say, yeah, it was definitely a bold choice for sure. But like, I mean, it's. I don't think they were thinking that it was that. I think they literally just like thought, it makes sense because it's just her boyfriend. Literally, she swept this guy away from his life, I suppose, so that she could like role play as this man. Like, pretty much, like, he role-played as this man because he was possessed by this man, which was very weird, a bit messed up, a bit disturbing, and possibly not the way it was intended. But, outside of that, I think that Wonder Woman 84 is a wonderful film because, like outside of that, like, the relationship, obviously, between Wonder Woman and the man, whatever that boyfriend guy's name is, the chemistry is really good still. As good as the original film, which I definitely remember well. What did you think of the chemistry between the two, minus the rape implication?
Yeah, minus the rape, obviously. I mean, it was alright. It was kind of ham-fisted, but it was passable in IMO. I'm not the hugest fan of romantic subplots, but like, especially when it's done like this, but like, it's passable. I won't hold it against the film.
Like, I would have accepted it more, like, because it's cute, but, like, what I'd recommend for viewers that really want to enjoy this film, like I did, I love this film, just cover your ears and close your eyes when they're having sex, and I think that you might be able to stomach it a little bit more.
Right.
Pretend like the wishbone just brought him back, like, just made it appear, because that makes more sense. But I think we got to get into like another aspect that people are complaining about for some reason, which it's the aspect where Wonder Woman is losing her powers. She apparently loses her powers in the film, which we watched. But
What do you mean
she loses her
apparently? We
powers.
watched it, you dipshit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, apparently. No, look, I say apparently because, like, it's apparently what happened. It was apparent when I was watching it.
That is true. It was apparent when I was watching it, also.
Exactly. Yes. So Wonder Woman, she's losing her powers. She can't block bullets, and she can't use her lasso of truth to make people say the truth anymore. And she also can't run fast, which is one of Wonder Woman's superpowers. And she can't use her invisible plane either. And I thought it was very touching. It reminded me of and also original too. Original, but it was also a nice little friendly shout out to Spider-Man 2, where Spider-Man also loses his confidence.
The classic Spider-Man 2. The renowned classic.
Spider-Man 2. Stupid film Twitter can make dumb memes about how good it is. But yeah, what did you think of Wonder Woman losing her powers? Like, did you think it was emotional?
I thought it was the most emotional part of the film. You really felt her conflict. She was told all this time she was built up with dreams of grandeur, and all of a sudden it was being taken away, and she didn't really know how to react. And I think Gal Gadot, portrayed that character in that arc really well. And yeah, it was pretty good. I was cold on a lot of aspects in the film, but you know what? That was good. I do admit it was done pretty well. Kudos to Wonder Woman 1984.
Let's get into the controversy of the film.
Didn't we already get into the controversy with the whole rape thing?
Yeah, that was controversial for sure, but this is even more controversial.
Ooh.
Kristen Wiig's character from the film. Oh my god, people are so split on this issue. Some people say, I love this character. She's so wonderful. And me personally, I'm in that camp. But other people say she's a ripoff, I suppose, of like other characters from other films. Because she's like a nerd, and she wishes to no longer be a nerd and become a cool girl, and she.
Why the fuck?
I guess
I think my main problem with this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I can't stand it. I can't when they have like a nerd character. All they do is like give her glasses and like a weird hair, like a not like super sexy hairdo, and they're like, that's a nerd character for you. Like, shut the fuck up! Don't just put glasses on somebody and say they're a nerd. Shut the fuck up.
Well, here's what I think. Okay. This may be true. For most movies, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, this is a nerd. But I think that Kristen Wiig really delivered it well. She basically, she's kind of a new character actress, I would argue, because she was really good in the Ghostbusters 2016, right? You remember her?
Not really, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay, well, yeah, she was really great. She played like the lead girl. And, in this film, I guess she's kind of bumbling around. My favorite scene being when she like tripped and like was set and said, "Oh, my glasses!" Like that was pretty
funny.
You really got her character there, and it was also funny, yeah. And when she started becoming the cool girl, she took off her glasses and got new hairstyle. I wept. It was so like relatable. #relatable, and like all the men were fawning over her because I guess she wished. I mean, she did wish to be cool. But I guess where the controversy comes in is over time, she turns into a cat.
I see.
I mean, you saw it, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw. That's what I mean. I see she turns into a cat. So,
yeah, what did you think? What did you think of the effects on that when she turned into a cheetah woman?
I mean, that was pretty. But my main problem with that was like how she was like kind of underdeveloped. Yeah, she's nerdy. Yeah, she's lonely. Yeah, she wants to be admired and sexy and stuff. But like, what else? She needs to have more character rather than just archetype that like the plot demands. Like, come on, I feel like it really could have been developed more. I know it's an action movie, but like, come on, why Marvel movies are so good is because they get the characterization down. Here, there's just like no fucking characterization. So, well, no good characterization, or in depth, I should say.
That's understandable, but to quote the Nostalgia Critic when he was defending the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they don't need that much character. He's just a weirdo. And you can apply this to here. She is just a weirdo. And obviously, like being a weirdo, she feels left out of society. And maybe that's kind of why in her wonderful friendship with Wonder Woman for like 2 scenes. I think, yeah, for 2 scenes, I believe, where you really got their chemistry, really got their characters, really got they had a real camaraderie. You really understood the relationship. You really understood that like both Wonder Woman and the Cat Lady were both kind of like 2 sides of the same coin. They were both like felt like outcasts from society, even though they were both very beautiful A-list actresses. They both still felt like outcasts from society, which I felt brought a lot of heart to the story, brought a lot of heart to the film. Yeah, so it was really wonderful. I understand your perspective that perhaps like, oh, it's underdeveloped, but I feel like since it's an action movie and like these movies are popcorn films at the end of the day, it's okay to be a bit simplistic, I think, and it really worked.
I mean, I suppose so. We can always just like theorize about like what is a lonely woman doing, or a lonely woman who seeks affection do in her spare time. Obviously, she's an incel or femcel, I think they're called. But
yeah, like Stacy.
Yeah, like Stacy from Phineas and Ferb. We can always just, and honestly, I really did not want to see her going on about tirades about like how women can't get dates and how men don't respect her or whatever. Like, maybe I should just not look a gift horse in the mouth and be thankful that she was shallow and not like didn't go extremely in depth with like, especially with how real the story got with like the rape thing. I feel like maybe this simplified thing would be okay.
Yeah, on the rape thing, I will say like if they were gonna do that, they probably should have addressed the trauma of like the guy that was possessed by the ghost after the fact. He should have said something like, "Oh my god, I feel violated." That would have added more depth to the story.
Yeah.
A bit of a missed opportunity there. But I will say it was very bold of them to include that 2-minute. It wasn't 2 minutes, but it felt like forever. That scene where like Kristen Wiig, the villain character, the cat character, was sort of thirsting over a man, and like it was implied that she had like a very high libido. So it was like a very uncomfortable scene, very awkward scene, but like I'm glad it was there because it definitely sort of it adds something to her character that I think is like is not in these commonly like nerd villain characters where they're like they have a very high libido, they're very sexually frustrated, and there's an aspect to that in all of us. I think we can all kind of relate to that, especially in quarantine. So
okay, please stop talking about how horny you are. Please, can we talk about something else?
Okay, but that was an aspect of the film that I understood. So,
okay, you related to it quite a bit.
What other points about the film do you want to raise? Like, let's talk about the action. What did me personally? I love the action. It was fun. It was high stakes, super high stakes that like they had to artificially change the stakes by like taking away her powers, I think.
Well, I don't think it artificially did it, but it was a popcorn film. You said it. It was a popcorn film, and I think it popcorns pretty well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely pops.
Yeah, it gets a pass from me.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was also a scene where Wonder Woman like swung on lightning. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, fantastic.
How do you feel of her theme? Like the violin thing, like the. How do you feel about that? I preferred
it when it was like electric cello. You know that. You know that one?
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I want to ask you about Wonder Woman's character arc because like obviously she didn't really learn like not to violate men by wishing them to be other people.
Yeah.
But she did learn a very important lesson, and that's about family.
Right.
And the lesson being that like family is important, and it's good, and the power of friendship is very helpful for resolving your issues. Like at the conflict at the end when she was fighting the guy, the guy that like was like a bad father and like had wish problems because he became like a wish or something. He became like a genie, and Wonder Woman had to stop him from destroying the planet. from nuclear warheads. And what Wonder Woman learned is that like family and friendship is good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like all the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, they should have had Vin Diesel say, "This is, family's everything," and I think that would have added more to the film.
Right.
But it was a very touching scene, and it was also good when like the bad guy realized, "Oh, I'm sorry," and got no consequences. It was pretty funny, pretty progressive. Yeah, and like it's just overall good.
I suppose. I mean, maybe if I think about it a little bit more, it's not the worst film that I've ever seen. It's not like offensively bad. Maybe like the political messages could have been a little more like less like, oh my god, Americans versus the terrorists. Like I feel like it could have been a little bit more than that. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It's no fucking I don't know, American Sniper or whatever. I don't, some like totally pro-America propaganda film or whatever.
Yeah, like the pro-America propaganda stuff was awfully weird because it took place in 1984. Like obviously, like I guess America was still dealing with terrorism, but like that's more of like a 2000s kind of thing, post 9/11 world.
Yeah.
So it's very weird that like there were scenes of like Wonder Woman beating up members of Al Qaeda, like just brutally wailing on them, saying like "This is for America," and it was just very odd. But I mean, like I thought that there was something kind of inspiring about that, especially like after she like decapitated one of them and like stood in front of like an American flag. While wove in the background.
That made me swell up. That made my penis swell up with national pride. Really, it did. But I suppose we shouldn't be dismissing the opportunity of like terrorism and like dealing with the Middle East like too much, because Iran Contra was just 1 year, but was 1 year after 1984. So they were already in Iran and stuff. So. Yeah,
that is a good point. So sorry, I'm just bad at history, but that is a very good point. So it's not totally far removed from those conflicts. Like they've been going on for a while, for sure. So but like onto this theme. I thought it was really awesome how like there were scenes where like Wonder Woman caused collateral damage in these Middle Eastern areas. Like several civilian casualties happened because of what she did.
Oh wow!
And it was very very realistic commentary on how war is and how with war that stuff happens. Of course,
And obviously she's the hero for doing all of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I really liked it. Did you like the commentary? There's like sort of a bit of commentary on like. Body image issues. Obviously there's that one scene where the cat lady says, "Oh, I feel a little bit fat today," and that was really beautiful. What did you think about that moment?
I think it was brave of them to tackle body images issues. It hasn't been done this tactfully since A Wrinkle in Time, where the bully character had body image issues for one scene, and that was never addressed again. And so I feel like it was done equally well there, and it was very brave of Hollywood to say, you don't need to be like this attractive woman to be a hero, even though the poster child is the attractive woman who you should aspire to be. So
Well, hang on. She was obviously, but Hollywood added a little bit of relatability to her, though.
I suppose
because she exposed one flaw to her frumpy friend, which was that her flaw was that she had a tiny mole on her face, which was like a very difficult thing for her to get over with it, like, in her body image adventure. And I'm glad she also got the courage to stop being insecure about that. And she said, "You know what? I am still beautiful despite this tiny mole on my chin. So, my chinny chin chin." So that was a good message to give to young women. Be yourself, girl. And that is beautiful. But I think this is a really good film. I wasn't too big on the part with the Raptors. It just sort of felt kind of random, like just like Raptors were storming an '80s mall because they were unleashed by Dr. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
But it,
that just felt like a little bit too much on the 80s circle jerk thing. Like, it's the 80s, there were raptors everywhere, it was a different time, but like, come on. You know it's just like a little
yeah,
bit of pandering at this point.
like come on, dude. It like the Furby fight. Like they had a like part of the fight was like in a Furby store while
Yeah,
they
like,
played that one song.
and I can't
Yeah,
fucking believe that, like, she tried to, like, pull up something to cover her face, and she pulled up a Furby, like, right in front of the camera, and like, talked for a little bit. Like, God, that was, like, that tried way too fucking hard.
yeah, and like the worst part was like it was playing like that song "I Want to Dance with Somebody" while she was like punching the Raptors.
Yeah, and
And
honestly, that
I don't
whole
know about you,
mini
but
mall, okay, that whole mini mall segment could have been like completely cut. Nothing would have been lost. It was just a pointless circle jerk.
I think that it was a reference to like a comic or something, but like I can't quite be sure because like I mean I'm pretty sure Linkara sort of made fun of that character with Doctor Insano played by
Yeah,
Spoonie. So it's definitely a comic thing. It was just a bit odd that they incorporated it in this serious superhero film where a woman turns into a cheetah lady and
yeah.
fights Wonder Woman. This is a serious film, and we can't just be bogged down by this crap right here.
By this like
Uh,
obviously childish crap. In my
yeah,
superhero movie, no sir.
no. And by the way, like we have to talk about the forced diversity of this film.
Oh,
Just a
totally.
robot just a robot would be seething. I think I saw one like I think I think that like Wonder Woman, like why can't it be Wonder Man? What is with this affirmative action BS
I
right
fucking
here,
hate
huh?
this. Did you know that there were no female superheroes in the 80s? This is totally fucking unrealistic.
I
Why?
know, right?
Why would they bother sacrificing realism when, like, you can just, oh, but it's pandering to the SJWs? God,
I know. Like this is what happens when the PC police storm the gates of
yeah.
Hollywood right here. Because like as Mr. Enter said, you can't have women in video games, and that was like a
It's just not
very
realistic. And, okay, the movie was fine outside of that, but the whole movie, I was just thinking, it could have been something if it was just, if there was just no women in it, right?
right. It should have just starred the guy and his son. I think that would have been a way more epic story. And let me also say, Wonder Woman would not have violated Steve Trevor, or I guess not Steve Trevor, the guy that Steve Trevor was possessing, if we went with this idea for making a film.
Yeah.
So like I think that that's a major problem with the film. I know I said I loved it earlier, but like that was like a major.
Yeah, you loved it
Like,
with a major footnote that everyone should have been men because it's not really
and the rape
realistic, and
and the rape thing was kind of a yikes too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I thought it was pretty fire. And on the topic of fire, we have to address the elephant in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
The fire scene where Wonder Woman had to sort of like, again, this was also pandering, like the Furby factory lit on fire.
Yeah.
So there was like a joke that like, oh, like the joke was like, it reminded me of Pixels, where the joke was like, oh, this cutesy thing is getting killed. So like all the Furbies were on fire and they were like exoskeletons, and it's like, oh, get it, guys. And I thought it was just annoying. It felt like a Happy Madison joke or something.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that funny, but it was kind of cool seeing all those Furbies like light on fire. So
It was the effects were really good. I'm not sure if they were fucking CGI. Everything is nowadays, but yeah, it was very cool. The spectacle was good, even though the Raptor thing made no fucking sense. But it was, again, it was the goal of this isn't to be an inquisitive think piece. It's supposed to be a popcorn film, and hell, that was good things to eat popcorn and look at. So yeah.
Yeah, I ate lots of. I mean, my mouth does not have the capacity to eat popcorn right now, but if I could, I definitely eat it during this film.
Yeah.
And I definitely cried too. If my tear ducts ducks weren't shut. So, it was pretty good. But like, and I guess just back onto positives. Like there was that scene, where like the NES was obviously coming out around this time. So nerdy woman, obviously, like she falls over and breaks her glasses again, which was really funny. She had to like tape them together.
That was pretty funny.
And her peers were all like, "Hey, check it out! I put a kick me sign on her," and then they all kick her, and then she's like, "Oh, Wonder Woman, check out this new game system called the Nintendo Entertainment System," and then they play it together. It's a really hashtag relatable moment.
It is,
especially if you grew up in the '80s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, only '80s kids will remember that one. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I just loved it. Like, I can't think of it.
It was a real time capsule. You'd say,
yeah,
right?
It was a time capsule of a time it was not made in, which was beautiful in a way.
Yeah.
It sort of captured the inner '80s kid in me, even though I was born in 2001.
Yeah.
But it captured the inner '80s kid within me, and there's something beautiful about that. Oh, also, it's also kind of sad when you think about it. All the characters that like Wonder Woman became friends with in the original movie.
Oh yeah, they're all dead now.
Yeah, they're all dead. Which like really adds a lot of weight. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of like Skips from regular show. Like, does he bother meeting anyone new and like making new connections when he knows they're all just gonna die and he's gonna outlive them?
Well, that's why like I kind of had a problem with this movie for that reason, because Wonder Woman had kind of a rip-off moment of Skips, because like in this movie she never like runs at all.
Yeah.
She only skips. She only skips. So
and it's obviously her origin story is obviously referencing the fact that Skips only loved one woman, who one lover of the opposite sex. So yeah. So that was totally ripped off by Wonder Woman. But, you have to give hats off to Skips with all the wishes and the cosmic stuff that came his way. He never wished to have his GF's consciousness merge into someone else's body so he can sexually assault them. So,
Yeah. Wait, hold up a second. Can you pause the recording? Because I think my mom's calling.
All right, we're back. I can't remember what we were talking about.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because I want to talk about like how outrageous it is that the box office was only $85.4 million to a budget of $200 million.
Well, again, with the HBO Max numbers, it could weigh out. I'm not entirely sure the process of how valuable it is on streaming services, but
no, I don't care. If you are a human with disposable income, and even if you're an elderly person, like you should go watch this film in theaters because COVID, like, I think Wonder Woman supersedes the coronavirus in some way because it's such an amazing film. Like, I don't think, do you know what I mean? Like, it has to be seen on the big screen because, like, it just requires that,
Yeah. It's just like too much of a momentous occasion to just pass up and you to be sick at home. Or just get COVID and go to the fucking movies, alright? Do it!
like, I mean, come on, guys. Like, here's the thing. Look. Just do it, okay? Like, you have to. This is Wonder Woman we're talking about. Like, people are buying their Funko Pops of it all already.
Yeah,
like, you're missing out.
You're going to miss out on this just huge trend. They're going to ask, did you see this in theaters? And you're going to say no, and you're going to feel like a fucking idiot because you didn't see it in theaters. You're going to be
shunned by the elite society that paid money to see this movie in theaters and risk themselves for catching a life-threatening disease. Do you really want to be one of those people? Like, come on. Like, come on already. My God. Just watch it. It's a good movie, minus the red flags of, the violation. But otherwise, like, the violation is just some dude. Yeah. But otherwise, it's a perfect film. I loved it. I adored it. I think it was the greatest film that I have seen, and I will definitely watch it on HBO Max again.
Okay. I think, can we end this? Can we be done with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you haven't figured it out by our if audience you haven't figured it out by our extremely like inconsistent views of the movie and very vague coverage, we didn't actually see this movie.
Yeah, you've been bamboozled.
I bet you feel stupid.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about this movie, I think, was that controversy about the movie.
I didn't actually know about it. I had to look it up while you were doing it, and I did find out the deets about it. So
yeah, like the rape controversy. Yeah, it's a bit of a
that is pretty fucked up. Honestly, they really should have thought that through. They couldn't have just brought him back with the wish. Come on.
Yeah, that's the thing about it too. Like what I heard about the movie was like there's like literally the wishes can make things appear out of thin air. They don't like need to possess other things or like turn things into other things, if that makes sense. So why didn't they literally just like freaking make him appear out of thin air? Like, oh hey, he's back. Would it be that hard?
I don't fucking know.
Like, yeah, like it's stupid. Yeah, and like, you know.
Well, originally in this thing, I talked to him before we started. I said, "Hey, let's not say we saw this movie or like I've seen it or we haven't seen it." We tried to sidestep it to be really clever, but eventually you said, when I saw this film, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just say I saw it. Who cares?
Yeah, you just gave up.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
But you said it first.
That's a good point. I messed up, but I want to talk about something real quick. Speaking of like people complaining about forced diversity, did you know that guy Just a Robot kind of got canceled recently?
Yeah, I know, because he's extremely racist and said the N-word.
I've seen like I've seen like all the videos of like I've seen his intro. I've seen his Go Animate intro. I've seen his outro. I've seen that video of him just like saying the N-word several times. It's the funniest shit. And the best part is like he recently uploaded a tweet that was like, "Gonna be taking a break from the internet for a few days," and he got like ratioed. So you know it's pretty funny. I don't know why he's so like. What do you think makes him like so cursed? Do you think it's the stupid robot voice, or the N-word, or his avatar? Like, which is it?
I don't know. I think it's just his general aura and how he presents himself. Like, you've seen that clip of like the Gumball episode where he says, "In case you didn't know, she's talking about the penis." You've seen that, right? For those of you
unfamiliar with the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for penis.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
He had to explain it. Like, my God. But the funniest part is like his video like responding to like the meme. Like people obviously made that clip a meme. Like his response to it, he didn't even like understand why it was a meme. You know, because like obviously the joke, it has that aura of like Peter Griffin explaining the meme. It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah. It's just like Family Guy where they explain the meme and they explain the joke and then it happens.
Yeah, he doesn't. So like Just a Robot literally didn't understand that like people were making fun of how cursed he is and how he felt the need to explain the joke even though it was blatantly obvious. And literally his entire video, he just didn't understand the joke. So, Just a Robot, I think you deserve people explaining what the joke is to you this time. For those of you who didn't understand the joke, Just a Robot is cursed.
I can't believe they let that get past the censors. For those of you who don't get the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for penis.
Penis.
For those who don't get the joke.
The joystick is a metaphor for penis.
Penis. That is how normal people talk, for sure.
Wait, can we play his Go Animate theme song real quick?
No.
Wait, I gotta find it. I have it on my phone. Give me a second.
Debunking SJWs and feminazis.
Mr. Robot's the guy who will teach you stuff that Kubo is lit and T-Boss Boss is shit. Superman and Goku fanboys always give me bluff. Goku fan file beyond 3D is anime sexist and no limits fallacy. Get your pop on your top, get all the candy that you bought. Here's another episode of Just a Robot.
I
Pretty
hate
good,
that
right?
so much.
It's off key. It's off tune. It's everything bad. Oh, it's off tempo too. It's like literally everything wrong with the song.
Yeah.
Even says debunking SJWs and feminazis too, which is like that's his.
He was really
he's
proud of that.
Yeah, he loves it for some reason. But you know, for those of you unfamiliar with the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for penis.
Okay. We kind of got off track from our Wonder Woman thing. That was kind of like a social experiment, I guess.
What, like a review of something that we haven't seen?
Yeah, and we totally
I mean,
sidestepped
honestly,
it.
the movie looks pretty shit.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And there's
So I'm
like a
kinda
lot of
glad
anti-terrorists, like anti-Middle East stuff, so yeah.
Is there actually?
Yeah.
Oh, so I thought you were joking.
No. Get your pop on your top, all the candy that you bought. Here's another episode of Just a Robot.
Yeah, we're the NostalgiCast. We remember it, so you don't have to.
Hold on, I want to pull up a song for the end.
Yeah, okay, yeah, play a song.
I don't fucking have anything.
Play us out.
I don't fucking have anything.
Just play out, shoot. We kind of missed our opportunity with that Just a Robot
For
song.
those of you who don't get the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for penis.